What do you guys think? It's got a little rusty there. It's got a crack here in the bumper, and that's kicked out. Got a little more rusty boy here and there. It's pretty rough. Missing a mirror. Door handle's broken. Come inside. It comes with Kleenex. It's already paying me. It's got a tachometer. Gotta have that tachometer. Let's see what we got under the hood. Oh, is that vtec? vtec. It has a front O2 sensor code. Need to fix that. So I don't know if I'm gonna buy it or not. Comes with its own rag. The oil looks good. What do you guys think? Be my first Honda. It looks properly shitty enough to be my first Honda. Look at those wheels. Those wheels are pretty badass for a factory wheel. I think we need to do a burn off. Well, I washed it. Doesn't look terrible for Project Hoopty Civic. It's a hoopty. I mean, it's proper hoopty. Single cam vtec. It's a 98, so it's OBD2. Yeah, it doesn't look terrible. Need to sort out the mirrors because, you know, daily driven hoopty. Got a little bit of clear coat going on. There's a little bit of rust. Looks like the trunk leaks. Yeah, it should still be fun though. At least it'll get good mileage and have a heater during the winter. Came with chains. Hell yeah. Oops. So it runs pretty good. It's cold obviously, so the idle's high. It does have a check engine light. This check engine light scanned out as front O2 sensor and EGR. I didn't even know these had EGR, but I'm gonna have to figure that out before I actually commit to buying this thing. It's got to be able to pass emissions. It's a good deal, but I just don't have time to do a lot of work on a car as far as just basic maintenance to get it to be legal. So if it's more than just an O2 sensor, unfortunately it's going to get returned to sender. If the O2 sensor fixes the code, then it'll be mine. First impressions driving it. I don't know if you just heard that. There was a spring clunk, which is often the steering rack itself. It kind of goes doing. The alignment doesn't feel crazy, so I'm going to say it's probably just a bad strut or a bad top hat bearing. This car definitely has some corrosion. Listen to the brakes. Oh, that was terrible. Hopefully, again, that's just rust on the rotors. We'll see. We'll give this thing some miles before we commit. Make sure that it's at least not going to just be a money dumpster. So we've got the car made 94.26 horsepower, totally stock. Woohoo! I adjusted the timing to the max, all of it, and we picked up, whoops, look at that, solid gains, nothing really in the middle. It only added 1 degree of timing. I was only able to get 1 more out of it. It was already pretty advanced. A whole bunch down low. That could be from a hotter manifold. But up top, that's a pretty good gain there. You're looking at, you know, almost 1.5 horsepower, 1.5 horsepower. So what I need to do is see if there's anything I can do to get this car to breathe better. So it's bone stock, you know, clogged up cats, tiny little exhaust. But I'm gonna see what would happen if I just make a really fast kind of scumbag intake for it. So we're just gonna take this plastic stuff off and just put a piece of pipe with filter and call that a day. This would be the ultra budget intake. So here we go. Okay, proof of concept. There's a filter. It's not in an ideal spot. Ideally, I'd want to get it ran down into the fender where there's actual cold air. With the hood open, this is going to work though. So the question is, does this make more power than this? Ugh. About to find out. Looks like another bit of horsepower. It made a bit down low and then it dipped. This is a colder engine. The green is this pole. You can see a tremendous gain here right at the VTEC crossover. But then it lost some power, so it may have sensed some knock or something, and then it got some more back up top. I'm gonna do another pull now that the manifolds are hot and see where that lands. Well, the hot pull showed a little bit of a loss in power, so intake's not doing a whole lot on its own. So back-to-back pull, it actually was about the same up top, but it loses a little bit of power right in here, and that's not ideal. We want to have our power all the way through there. So we're going to go ahead and put the intake back to stock. Might need to go with a larger diameter intake pipe or something like that. More experimentation needed. Whoa, is that my Civic? Almost. This is 99. Here you go. This is my new life goals for my sweet new hoopty Civic. Actually, it's not at all. I have no intention of ever doing anything like this to a car. And now for the sad part of this video. I don't see anything at all. Oh yeah, that's right. That's where I parked it. That's where I parked it on Tuesday before I left for Vegas. So it wasn't even an ideal spot. I was kind of nervous about parking it here. I like to park further down where things are a little more hidden. This is pretty close to the street. But yeah, anyway, there's probably oil drips from my car. There's no glass on the ground or anything, so I'm guessing they were able to get the door open without breaking the window. So that video represents, you know, 1 day of ownership of a car before it disappeared. After that, I basically drove it to work twice and parked it, and then it disappeared. For what I paid for that, I could have gone out and rented a super sweet sports car for longer and driven that. But yeah, the plan was to put multiple anti-theft countermeasures in the car before I did anything to it, and that was actually what I was going to do today, was at least install some sort of remote kill. But yeah, that's the way things are sometimes, I guess. You just try your hardest to work and buy things and have stuff. I wasn't even trying to have nice things, just trying to have a car that was a hoopty that I could do something with. But luckily, this old guy over here has been with me for freaking ever, and looks like it's on winter duty. It is a cooler car for sure, but well, you wouldn't think this was the ghetto, you know, by looking, but it is. Everywhere in Portland is a ghetto. You got to get out of Portland. You need to go out to Gresham, or even though everyone says Gresham's the ghetto, like, it's, I didn't have half these issues living in Gresham that I do here. Can't say enough about David and Hector and the guys from the Pacific Northwest Stolen Cars group that are Catching Car Thieves group that helped find this and recover this Honda of mine. Just waiting for the police to come sign off on it so I can put the wheel back on and take it home. Although I don't know if the jack is still there. It looks like they left some of the tools. So hopefully there's the jack. Be nice to get this thing off the road and at least back to safety. They only drove it a good 3-4 blocks from where they took it. I'm guessing this, when I parked it, this front wheel bearing was pretty jacked. So there's my anti-theft. You can see all the brake dust on it, something caliper seized or something like that. But yeah, I'm guessing it just such a pile they didn't even want to steal it more than a couple of blocks. So again, thanks guys a lot for the vigilance and helping me get this thing back. Damn it, Kevin, you left your insulin needle. I'm sure that's what that is. Getting this thing sorted back out, take it home, assess the damage later. Good times, good times. Always fun stuff. You know, this thing's had kind of a brake grind since I got it. Wasn't sure if it was a wheel bearing or what. It's getting progressively worse, and it's probably the reason why the people that stole it only drove it a block. That's the backing plate, nothing left on it. My guess is this caliper here is probably seized, or it's not moving freely, because the other pad from the front side of the rotor had, you know, it was low, but it had decent life. And the other side of the car, the pads look fine. So I'm going to replace them all because I'm in here. Just going to have to watch the pad wear and see if it kind of pulls one way or the other on braking. That'll let me know if this caliper is seized up. And if it is, that'll get replaced too. Also, come to find out, the CV axle is totally destroyed. That's the boot. It's in like 3 pieces. It's not ideal. So I'm going to fix all this stuff up. First inspection of the car on the lift since I got it back. It looks pretty solid. Didn't find any more tweaker toys inside the car. No more needles, no meth pipes or anything. So that's a good sign. I was a little curious about the gas tank, and sure enough, right there's a tank drain, and it is missing its bolt. So that's why the rear tire was off the car, because they basically took the rear tire off to get to the tank drain and get the majority of the gas out of it. So surprisingly, it had enough to drive home and drive here even with the tank drain open. So I'm going to find a crush washer and a bolt for that. And luckily they didn't poke a hole in the tank, or did they? Nope, that's just a scuff. Luckily they didn't poke an extra hole in the tank. Clearly whoever took it knew that that's where the tank drain was. So they were kind enough to at least leave me with a operational car after they stole pretty much a full tank of gas. But when you recover a stolen car and the total damages are a tank of gas and a couple of bottles of cleaning wipes, could be worse days. Could definitely be worse days. So I'm going to get this thing all tidied up and ready to drive. Another fun one. Pop the gas door. What do we have? I don't even know what it is. It is a magnet. Well, it's an extendo rod. Looks like a magnet. Let's see if we can get this thing out of here. It's my antenna, I bet. Yeah, look at that. Oh, that's super sad. My antenna is no longer antennaed. It's so much damage for a tank of gas. It's gonna destroy somebody's car that they work hard for a tank of gas. Like, that's gas cap's missing too, which kind of sucks. I might actually drive back by and see if I can see if the gas cap's sitting on the side of the road or something up there where the car was stashed. Because I don't think I have any spare gas caps. So yeah. All right, more fun ones. So I didn't think the ignition got damaged, but the car's it's running. They're not supposed to be able to come out. So much stupid damage. It's the taco machine. Addicted to tacos and breakfast burritos. Yummy tacos.